Okay, so this is day 45 of being housed. I think I got this camera upside down. Let's do the old flip-a-roo. There we go. Okay. Day 45 of being housed. Beautiful, beautiful sunny day. It's Monday, September 29th, 2025. I just got finished at the gym. And so I just want to share, this is a good, it's a WIL. It's a good thing to remember. And it's also a BVP, so a barrier for the vulnerable population. First and foremost, let me start off with the difference between a service or between an interruption and a disruption. So an interruption is, as that word states, if you're working on something and you're interrupted, so somebody drops by to talk, and then it interrupts your train of thought, it interrupts your momentum, but you're able to get back on that train of thought, and then you start from zero again, and you build back the momentum. So that's we're say like an interruption. But in terms of a disruption thwarts what you are doing. So it surpasses an interruption in the sense of you're no longer able to get back to what you're doing. So even somebody stopping by, say at your desk, if you're working in a corporate atmosphere and they begin talking, you're interrupted from the work that you're doing. And if you heard me take a big sigh there, yes, I'm really fatigued. But then if they keep talking and then all of a sudden in that conversation it turns out that there's something that you missed somewhere else, something that takes precedence over what you're doing, and it needs to be tended to right away. And then you realize that, okay, if I go here and when I go here and do this, it's going to be the end of the day. So I will no longer be able to continue with that thought and with what I'm currently doing. That's an interruption. Okay, now that we've got that clarified. So I was at the gym, on the way to the gym, I stopped by to get a small coffee. And yes, I've been good since I was sick. I hadn't drank a coffee since. And I thought, I got a couple packets of honey. I'm going to bring them and have a small coffee. And yes, I need to stay away from that because I do know that we'll talk about that another day. But for some reason, coffee really impacts my ability to retain focus. And since I've been away from it for such a long time, I'm able to note just how big of an impact it has. So I need to exercise wisdom. Plus, God did speak to me clearly about this, and so I want to be obedient to Him. I will be obedient to Him. So, anyways, I stopped to get a coffee, and I looked in my wallet, and I could not find my my debit card. So the section for your cards in this wallet is really loose, and this is a Velcro wallet that I've gotten for Christmas. So I'm giggling to myself because I haven't had a Velcro wallet, I think, since I was 16. So anyway, so the issue with this wallet is when you close it and use the Velcro, it kind of poofs the pockets open, so they become extra loose, and the cards, they can easily slide in and out. So I was at the gym. Today's the day when I was going to go and stay at I brought my tablet with me. I was going to stay at the library and do some block periods of a third revision for the help me to need with me or me to need with me idea and the planes and people watching manuscript. I realized that, I need to go and get this taken care of. So I was thinking, not a big deal. I can, the bank is just around the corner. I'll just go to the bank. Surely I have ID on me, and I'll show them my ID. I'll ask for a temporary card, cancel the old card. And if somebody drained the finances that are in there, it'll hurt, especially being that my financial situation is very low, but that's okay. The biggest thing is just canceling that card and getting a new card. So that would be an interruption. Not a big deal. After I worked out, I went in the change room to have a shower, and then I just checked in my wallet to confirm, because I seen a whole bunch of cards in there, that my health card was indeed in there, and it wasn't. So I don't have any identification on me. So that means both my debit card and my health card are missing. And so I'm on my way back to where I'm currently staying. The only other form of identification that I have is my passport, and I'm fairly certain I didn't bring that along with me. I'm fairly certain I kept that in a box at my parents' house, where I have like the important things that I want to keep together, but I don't necessarily need in the moment. So anyways, so what started out as an interruption to this really, really fruitful and productive day of writing has turned into a disruption, or is turning into a disruption. So we're going to see if I'm able to, if I get to where I'm currently staying and I find perhaps they just fell out of my wallet on the bed. If I find them there, not a big deal. Then I'm just going to either go to a coffee shop around the corner, or I'll just make do, in the room where I'm staying. And then I'll just, I don't find it to be very conducive to productivity, but I'll do my best to remain focused and just to get as much, squeeze as much productivity out as I can right now. But if not, I'm just not going to panic. I'm going to have to face whatever options come up. So if I can't find either of those cards, well, then I'm going to have to scoot all the way to the other side of town. Hopefully my parents will be around. If they are, I have to see if I can find the passport. Then I'm going to have to scoot all the way to the bank and then get the my former debit card canceled. And so anyhow, I just thought, well, in the way I take these things, I've learned to take them in stride. And I think as we're learning to, and as I'm sharing, first and foremost, God gets all the glory. He's the one that, I've repented to, so many times in the past. And this is where I've always desired to be. I've always desired to be more patient, and just to, in a situation like this, it doesn't have to be any more stressful than it really is. I'm able to access the thoughts that are required, and now I have a step-by-step process to remedy this issue, and then once I remedy this issue, I can do a remediation plan, and I can look into acquiring a better wallet, or just being more aware that these cards can fall out. So I'll just be more careful every time I move or set the wallet down. But there's no sense in getting frustrated and getting very angry and allowing this to not only damper my mood, but hamper my ability to think properly. And so I'm happy to be able to share this with you, but I'm also happy to be able to share that in the past, I would have gotten very angry, felt very upset, felt all this pressure. It would have been like a dark cloud looming over me and following me wherever I went. And I realized now, looking back, that I had so many unresolved issues in my life. I had so many fresh scars from, many years ago. I felt taken advantage of and dominated by so many different people, and all those things, they compounded, and they became compact, and they compounded within me. And then because they were compact and compounded within me, I was unable to differentiate between one situation from the other, and the anger and the excessive anger that I experienced, was always an accumulation of many, many different things, and from many, many different sources. And it was from unresolved issues, and that hindered me greatly. It hindered the way I interacted with people. It changed my persona. It changed, my ability to remain cool, calm, and collected. It hindered and hampered my ability to talk with people and just be present, and to be very nurturing and comforting. It had such a dramatic impact on me, and it was something that was just never talked about. It was just ignored, And I think people would just put the label of, oh, that's just him, that's just the way he acts, when in reality, the root of it was never even acknowledged, let alone addressed. So I find, oh goodness, after years and years of the Holy Spirit having me face this and having me, do this and then do that, and forgive this person, forgive that person, forgive myself, and then learn how to face rejection. It hurts, but it's part of everything, and face it, in the right way, face disappointment in the right way, learn how to live my life, or live the life that God has given me, which is a life that differs from what the life I was living before. So anyhow, I just want to give God all the praise and the glory, but I also want to share this and just to reveal to you, this by no means is going to, it's just a disruption, or a potential for disruption. And, we're going to see what comes next. If I find the cards, that's wonderful. If I don't, that's equally wonderful. I'll just go to the next step and I'll just be accountable. And, oh goodness, it might be a little more timely than I'd like, but that's okay. It's where I'm at. But I'm just going to be honest about where I'm at. Honest, right now I don't have access to a vehicle, so I can't have higher expectations than the expectations I can put on myself in terms of walking from point A to point B. But I'm very grateful that I have that God has provided me with health and a healthy mind, so I'm able to see these things and to be able to walk from point A to point B. I'm also very thankful for the place that I have, and that my parents have allowed me to keep my stuff there for the time being till I can find something else. And anyway, so all of these things, I find I guess what I'm trying to conclude with is where our thoughts are, or where my thoughts are, has such a great impact on the direction of whether I become frustrated and then overthrown by that frustration, or whether I remain peaceful and calm with the Holy Spirit, keeping my emotions under God's dominion. And when that's the case, I'm just able to see clearly, think clearly, and access those thoughts that I need in order to solve the problem that's before me. And I'm just going to face it, and I won't put any expectations over myself other than, okay, this is just a responsibility, and I'll just drop what I'm doing now, and I'll go and I'll face that what's coming next. And for each of you that might be scratching your head and you're thinking, why is he sharing these things like this? Well, that's a really wonderful question. I'm actually really quite glad you asked, because if you asked that question, others would ask the same question or have the same question. Before I worked in the corporate atmosphere, this was not the case for me. I would have been very high strung. I would have got really worked up, and really I would have made a mountain over a molehill quite easily. And that was your reputation will precede you, and and the way, if I allow stress and anxiety to fill my being, when I'm around others, they're not going to feel comfortable or relaxed around me. There's such a great impact of our internal state on the people that are around us. And I found part of my success in the corporate atmosphere was simply facing problems. I could be getting picked on. I got picked on a lot, and I would just face the problem, learn to see it for what it is, see it for what it wasn't or what it isn't, assume the accountability and the responsibility that I had, and then leave the accountability and responsibility that were up for others. And then God permitted me to be able to leave that situation, go into another situation, and then face whatever problems were there. So I wasn't carrying leftover anxiety or stress or unresolved issues from one situation into another, which then became compounded, compact, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're going to blow your gasket. All of a sudden, you succumb to this fight or flight. So you either get really aggressive towards a person, or you start to shrink away and just ignore the person. I had the option for the third option, which is, okay, here's an issue here. Okay, let's navigate through this issue. Let's see what is the person really communicating. This is what they're saying, but what are they communicating? Okay, this is the issue that it seems like they have. How much of this is actually how much of this am I accountable for, and what of this am I not accountable for? But also, what of this could be construed in the imagination? There's many issues I found that were just simply because people had a supposition, or they assumed something, and then they were reacting off what they assumed. And then if you talk with them, you said, okay, well, let's just get to the root of why would you think this? And they say, oh, because this person said this might happen. I say, well, let's just challenge that though. What I've noted is this is not the case. So perhaps that's just misinformation. But anyways, it allows you to be present, so you can be presently deal with present issues, and without becoming overwhelmed. In this right here, everything I've learned in my life is I treat everything as a precursor or preparation to the next thing. So if I lose my cool right now and I get overly upset, I might be the only person that knows that I'm getting this worked up inside, like the only person on this earth, but God knows. And the fact that I'm aware of it means there's a problem. And if I just ignore it, it is complete foolishness for me to think that when I re-enter a corporate atmosphere, when I'm married, when I'm working with people at any capacity, that this issue, because I haven't learned the proper learning lesson from it, and because it's revealing of different things that are unresolved within me, and I haven't taken the time to actually go and investigate and then remedy, identify, acknowledge, and then remedy those issues that are inside of me, that just means a pattern is going to continue. And I will, even if I'm unable to see it, if it's like part of my subconscious or unconscious thoughts, I'm going to be aware that I had this opportunity to face this and to bring about a resolve that is going to help me in the future. So everything that we go through is important. Everything that we go through actually helps condition and shapes us into who we are, and also it changes our thoughts into how we're conditioned to react and or respond to different things and different stressors in our life. So anyways, without further ado, I'm back here where I'm at, where I'm currently staying. I'm going to go upstairs. I'll provide a follow-up. Actually, I'll pause this and I'll give you a follow-up right away. Okay, so best case scenario, I looked in my pants pockets from yesterday, and for some reason both my debit card and my health card were in there. So anyways, false alarm. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna have to be a little resilient here. I'll do a workaround, and I'm gonna get to some focus work.